Hey everybody, we are on day 11 of our Proverbs study, so we are in chapter 11 today. So we're starting in verse 1, and it says, "A false balance is abomination to the Lord, and a just weight is his delight." Now I want you to think about, in these times, they probably use balances to like weigh out things and how to pay for stuff. And so this verse is referencing when you're dealing with people, deal with them fairly, treat people fairly. Verse 2, "When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom." I wanted to put this nugget in here real quick at the beginning of verse 2 when it says, "When pride cometh, then cometh shame." That shows us what's happening in the spirit realm. When the spirit of pride comes in, then shame always follows it. Moving on to verse 3, "The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the..." No! Moving on. Verse 4, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of a perfect shall direct his path, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them." That's the second time that's been mentioned in this chapter. That means it's very important. "But transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men will perish. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked comes in his stead," which means takes his place. Basically, in verse 8, that's saying when the righteous is delivered out of trouble, the wicked will retake his place, and he will not be delivered out of trouble. Verse 9, "A hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered." Verse 10, "When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his peace." I'm going to read verse 12 and 13 in the Amplified Version just to give you a good understanding of what it means. Verse 12, "He who despises his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding keeps silent." You got to know when to keep your mouth shut and when to speak. Amen? Verse 13, "He who goes about a gossip," talking about people, "revealing secrets, but he who is trustworthy and faithful keeps a matter hidden." Wise people keep other people's business out of their mouth. Even if they know things that's going on, you don't go around telling other people's business. That comes from wisdom. Verse 14, back in the King James, "Where no counsel is, no wise counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety." That is a whole word for the church. You need wise counsel. You need to be under somebody wise, or it says in the Bible, the people will fall without wise counsel. But in the multitude of counselors, of wise counselors, there is safety. Moving on, verse 15. "He that is surety," surety means one who becomes responsible for another person. "He that is surety," or responsible, "for a stranger shall not be smart for it, and he that hateth suretyship is sure." Verse 16, "A gracious woman retaineth honor." Women of God, listen. "A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward." This is talking physically and I'm sure spiritually at times. Verse 19, "As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. They that are of a froward or perverse heart are abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion." When I read verse 22, this is what I thought about. I thought about pretty people whose character or personality overrides their physical beauty. They can be as pretty as they can be, but the way they treat people, their character, who they are as a person, it just completely takes away their outward beauty because their inward beauty cancels it out. I'm going to read that verse again. Verse 22, as a jewel of a gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. Verse 23, the desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Verse 24, I'm going to read from the Amplified Version, and it says, there is the one who generously scatters abroad and yet increases all the more. And there is the one who withholds what is justly due, but it results only in want and poverty. Verse 25, back in King James. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. Don't be a hoarder. If you see somebody in need, help them out. Verse 27, he that diligently seeketh good procureth or obtains favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to those wise of heart. I'm going to read that, verse 29, in Amplified to give you a better understanding. In Amplified, it says, he who troubles or mismanages his own house will inherit the wind, meaning nothing, and the foolish will be a servant to the wise-hearted. Going on, verse 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth much more than the wicked and the sinner. That was chapter 11, and we are moving on to chapter 12, and I will see you then.